Hello everybody and welcome to Vicky Pattison, The Secret To. This week I am joined by none other than soap star, jungle queen and all-round yummy mummy. It's Jac Jossa, everybody. Woo!
Woohoo! I love that intro. Listen for that intro.
Did you like it? Oh, I write them myself, you know.
Very good. I'll take it.
Yes. I was like and ahhing, and I was like, do I pop in like influencer? Do I say like body positivity activist? Like, what do I say? There's so many things I could have said for you, Jac. So just so you know, like I had to rein that fangirling there.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome here. How are you? I know you've just dropped the kids off at school. Are you stressed? Are you busy? Are you all the things?
I'm good. I'm always a little bit stressed.
Is that your normal baseline?
It is, and I kind of live off whenever I feel calm, I feel weird. I'm like, I'm not doing enough. So I like to be busy. The school round is one of my favourite parts of the day, to be honest, because I just I'll take any time with the kids I can. So I like to do the school and I like to do the pickup, but I like to be the mum that's there, you know?
Yeah. Right. So hang on. What mum are you at the school gate? Are you see yous, bye? Or are you holding back the tears? Are you like freshly blown hair? Or are you in your PJs? Like, I need to know.
I am not freshly blown hair ever. Do you know what? I don't think I've ever had a proper blow dry in my life. I just don't do blow dry. No, my hair I let tongue it. I can't. Anyway, I don't do my hair like standard.
No, I don't.
The only time you will ever see my hair done is by like Glam Squad. This is the best you're gonna get, like a low bun, greasy. That's all you get from me. I'm such a catfish. It's crazy. I see the other school mums like, you don't look like that on Instagram. But I just live for it. I don't care. I just get up in the morning, get going, like chuck anything on and go. I think that's what most mums do, to be honest. Wing it.
I feel like that is definitely, like, obviously I've got no kids, but I would love to be blessed in the future. And I feel like that is definitely like all of my best laid plans. Like, I'd love to be the Kate Middleton type with the wicked hair and the gorgeous skinny jeans and the cashmere jumper. But like, fuck it, I'm not royal. I am definitely going to be like pajama top underneath a coat, if you can only see the leggings. And like, hopefully trainers.
Like your dog walking outfits.
Yeah. Oh, Jac, honestly, I think that's definitely given me a glimpse into what type of mum I'll be. Like, what type of dog mum.
That's me. That is me. If you get a big coat, you're actually winning. You just wear the big coat anywhere. No one knows what you've got underneath.
Yeah, that's perfect. It.
And
bra or no bra?
I have to wear a bra. See, if I don't wear a bra, we are in dangerous territory. Let me tell you, I cannot not wear a bra anymore these days after 2 kids. Honestly, I am so jealous of people that can just waltz about no bra.
Oh, I don't think I'm technically one of those people, like, you know, the little bracket that like perky little itty bitty boobs. Like, I definitely don't fall into that bracket. I'm just such a lazy cow. I do it anyway. And like one of my boobs is so lazy. Only one.
I like no wired bras, so like borderline sports bra. I went on Amazon Prime and I'm such a joker. I ordered like 2 packs of these bras on Amazon and it came the next day. It was the best thing I've ever done. And they were just like the most comfy. Like, they were awful to look at, but they're so comfortable. And I'm that girl.
So basically like a sock for your tits.
Yes.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. The granny pant for your boob. I'm living for it, mate. Like, honestly, here, there you go. Like, that's me. Nude every day. Poor Erkan. Like, I had a shoot the other week for like a lovely lingerie brand and I came home wearing some of it by accident. The poor cunt didn't know what to do with himself. Honestly, he thought all these Christmases had come at once. You should have seen his little excited face. I was like, this is an accident. Don't get used to it. So I got sidetracked, but I wanted to chat to you about Ella and Mia. So obviously Ella's in school now and Mia started preschool.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you are such a great mom and I see loads of your kids on Instagram. Like, is it really hard having them both away at school?
I think because I'm a working mum,
yeah,
it feels when they're at school, I feel better about working.
Yeah.
So I'm like, they're at school anyway, so I would be just twiddling my thumbs. It's good to get into something. It's when they're back from school and I'm still away, then I'm like, the mum guilt kicks in and I'm like, oh, they've had a long day at school. They probably just want to talk to me and stuff. But we've got a really good balance. Like if I'm not there, Daniel is, or my dad or my mum. And so I've got so much help and like close family help that I'm so lucky. Like I honestly am so, and they love nanny and granddad. They love them.
Yeah.
I'm often there. Like I try and plan my life so well that I am actually often there on the school run. So I am like, I loved lockdown and them not being at school. I loved it. Everyone else was moaning about it and I was like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever.
My friendship group was really split. Like half of them, you know, there were, I think it was the half without kids, to be fair, were very much like bored, missing years, like can't wait to go on holiday, want my own life back, very frustrated. And then the half like with kids were very much like, we'll not get this time again. So I don't think you were alone in that feeling. Like I think it was a pretty much a general consensus for people with little ones. And who could blame you, mate? Like they grow up so fast.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, there was times where it was like
yeah, you're only human.
like, it was hard at times, but I think because obviously we're continuously busy and stuff, it was like that like being forced to slow down.
Yeah.
Being forced to just spend time, all the time you can with your kids. We've done so many fun things. Like it got to the point where Googling things to do that you could just do at home with whatever you had. It was so good. And you're right, you wouldn't have done it. I would not have done it if it wasn't for that. So I am really grateful. And the kids are really grateful to be back at school now as well.
Yeah.
It's hard to get them into school. They're excited. So like they were longing for something to do.
Yeah. Oh, well, it sounds as though like it wasn't the punch in the dick it was for most people. So I'm very pleased for you. So you've got two girls, but you've also got a stepson, Teddy. So you've kind of got girls and boys, but do you have any longing for any more?
It's funny, isn't it? Like after Ella, I knew I wasn't done.
Yeah.
I do feel a little bit different now.
Never say never, innit? Fucking
it's
hell.
Never say never. And I am still quite like young. Like I'm nearly 29 this month. And I'm like, I know people that start at 35, 36. And so I wouldn't say like categorically done, but at the same time, I can't see it anytime soon. I do feel really comfortable and the girls are getting older and they can all play so well together. It's nice. Like there's a nice age. So I don't think so, but I don't know.
Never say that. Never say never. I know. Yeah. Honestly, babe, like I see you with like a massive family. Like, did you come from a big family yourself?
I didn't actually. My parents have 6 and 6 siblings, so they did, but I just had me and my sister.
Oh, that's the same as me. Is your sister younger or older?
She's 10 years older.
Fuck off, is she?
Yeah, so there's like a 10-year age gap between us.
Are you still really close?
Like, yeah, we're really, really close now.
Yeah.
But obviously growing up, we kind of miss each other. When she was 18, I was 8.
Yeah.
Big difference when I was younger, but now there's no difference at all.
It's almost, it would feel like I think when you get older, like the age difference just feels less important, doesn't it? I mean, there's fucking 6 years between me and my fella and we barely notice.
Yeah. That's actually interesting though, because they say men don't mature. Daniel definitely does it. I don't. He's still an 18-year-old child.
And how old's Dan? Is he more my age?
He's 30.
Yeah, so Dan's more my age. So Erkan is 20, just turned 28, and I'm 34 this year, which I fucking hate. And I don't know why I keep telling people, because I actually feel like I might just stick at 33 because I feel like lockdown stole a year.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I read somewhere, and I don't know how true this is, that men don't mature till 37.
I read that. I think it's true. I think it's true. I think sometimes in life people go through certain things that make them mature a little bit earlier. But I think that, and I guess, do we? I don't know if I'm fully matured yet. I'm still pathetic in arguments, and I'm still I hold grudges, and I'm like, no, come on. be the bigger person, and sometimes I just can't. And I'm like, well,
Nah.
maybe I'm not there yet. I don't know.
No, petty is life, honestly. Like we were talking to one mates the other week. It was actually Chris and Rosie Ramsey, and they were saying like, oh, what's the worst thing you do in arguments? And I was like, oh, if we argue, I block him. So I block Erkan on WhatsApp and Instagram and all of my social media platforms.
Instagram. No, don't do it on Instagram. I blocked Daniel on Instagram, right? He goes fuming, and it makes you unfollow each other on Instagram. So I was then unfollowing him, and it got out all in the press.
Of course.
Jacqueline unfollows Dan Osborne unfollows Jacqueline. And like, obviously, when you have kids, you can't do that. And I was like, oh, why did I do that? It's so petty. Now it's turned into this huge thing, and we're actually just eating pizza tonight, and we're fine.
Like, basically, it was an argument over putting the toilet seat down or tea bags in the sink, but the press have got it like you're on the fucking brink of divorce.
It's so bad.
But you see, this is the difference between me and you. Nobody, like me and Erkan are so boring, and nobody has cared about our relationship since like the first 3 months that we got together. When people realize like, oh, they're just fucking so dull, like nobody has cared. So I can go and block him as much as I want.
We are so dull. We like, honestly,
yeah.
Like, sometimes I'll say like, oh, can we just I want an argument sometimes. I love arguing. That's the dramatic in me.
Yeah.
I think where I'm not doing the drama side, and I'm not in EastEnders anymore, letting all my anger and screaming and shouting, sometimes I do like a bit of, a bit of spice. We're well past it now. The other day, he chucked water on me. That's how we argued. I was fuming at him, and I was in a bad mood, and he was like, oh, I'm happy. And then he threw the freezing cold water all over me straight after I showered, and I was like, and that's how we argue now. Like, we haven't got the energy to do that, like big blow up arguments anymore. So long ago, we just don't do it anymore.
He's married, he's got kids, mate. Like, I think we've lived through a global pandemic. I think we've all kind of grown and got, when you were saying about instances that make you mature slightly, like if you come out of lockdown the same person that you went in, like I think that's a bit of a waste. I was saying this yesterday, like we've definitely all had time to realize what's important, but you can't deny I'm so sorry. That feels like the right moment to tell everybody that I'm poorly today, which is why I look like a fucking thumb. Look at this. My eyes are like piss holes in the snow. I'm so sorry. I'm like a little mole.
You know what, though? I prefer you with no makeup on.
Fuck off, Jac.
Yeah, whenever you do your stories and you've got no makeup on, I think you look so lovely.
You're
honestly.
So nice. You're
no, you
so
do though.
Nice, Jac.
Obviously, you look lovely glam. Don't get me wrong. You do look amazing glam. But I don't know. There's something you just look so kind.
Oh, well, if we're admitting things, when you first came on today, I was like, the shape of her face is fucking unreal. That is literally my first thought. No, we cannot. It's your cheekbones and your jawline. I was like,
oh, I'll take it. Oh, look at us, compliments everywhere, flying
just
about,
sucking each other off all over my podcast. Right, so you are boring now, you are so happy, you are in that like dull married stage, but you can't deny your relationship has come under like so much speculation. Why do you think the press are so obsessed with you?
It's really weird for me I don't know, to be honest. I started at 17 in this industry, as an actress, and I didn't realize, and to be honest, at the beginning it wasn't a thing, that people would care about your private life, because when I started on EastEnders, it was all about Lauren Brannan, and it was in the streets I would be called Lauren Brannan. I was never my name for 5-6 years, and I think it was Instagram really. I kind of just got loads of followers and was like, didn't really know what it. I was like, wow, like compared to other people in EastEnders, loads of people. And I thought, wonder why? What the hell? And then I guess, I don't know, people were just intrigued, obviously started dating Dan, and I had a previous relationship before, and he was in EastEnders, and no one gave a crap about that.
Do you think then, mate, and like, so I think, because obviously Erkan, like bless him, but excluding a brief furore into the world of Towie for like all of 5 minutes, like he's a normal, nice guy. So do you think it's like the power couple dynamic, like the fact that you are both famous, the fact, or do you think it's more the reality TV thing? Because I'd be dead interested to know if there's a difference between the way actors' relationships are perceived and the way like, oh, hang on, it's reality TV, then all of a sudden
You're
everyone's
fair game.
yeah, you're fair game.
As soon as you date someone in the reality TV world, you are fair game. And that's what I realized really quickly. I went, 5 years? Nothing for
just
what?
peace.
Just pure peace, making my dollar, living my best life, but like quite privately.
Yeah.
And I would get drunk and fall out of clubs because I was that age, but
yeah,
it wasn't like very intense,
Yeah.
Whereas as soon as I started dating Dan, it was different because people just wanted to know, which I didn't really get because we've always just been really normal. Like we are actually a really normal couple,
Yeah, you can say that, mate, and you can say the love you've got for each other. Like even just really recently, that post you did about unboxing, like you can see how much you love him and how normal your relationship is. So it is crazy, the interest, the speculation, but I think you're onto something there. It's definitely reality TV.
Because if you're on reality TV, and you will know, you do sell your soul slightly, don't you?
110%, mate. You essentially sign away your right to privacy.
And for me, doing the jungle was a real, for me,
different experience.
It was really difficult because I was like, as much as I am kind of now treated like a reality star, I have never done reality.
Yeah.
Up until that point, I've only been on Eastenders. The only time I've ever been on telly was to talk about Eastenders, so I hadn't never really I was treated like I was. Everybody knew my whole life and tried to make me crumble in front of Paps and all of that, but I never actually had taken the steps to be in a reality show. And so doing the jungle was like, do you want to take control of it?
Yeah.
Or just continue to allow people to have their visions of you.
Yeah.
Write what they want. And you've never really shown the real you. And that's why I did the jungle, because I just was fed up. I was bored of looking like some wet fish that just gets walked all over. I was like, do you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm over it.
Yeah.
I just want to go and have fun, challenge myself.
But then you did, and like that's the beautiful thing about the jungle, I think. And like for me, so I went in for, even though really different reasons, Jac, like a similar end goal, I suppose. So I was on Geordie Show beforehand, and everyone saw me as this person. Like they assumed I was angry, they assumed I was aggressive, they assumed I was this like constantly drunk, tiny Geordie woman. Actually, they thought I was massive, which is when everyone meets us, they're always like, you're so small. I'm like, it's the TV. So they thought all these things. And then I was given the opportunity to do the jungle. And I thought, I'm going to change this narrative. I'm going to show everybody that there is more to me than like slut dropping and down in tequilas and shouting in fellas' faces. Like
you really did, though. You really did.
But then you did as well. Like whatever the narrative of you was beforehand, whether it was, whatever anybody perceived you to be, what they saw of you, Jac, was not a victim, was someone who was happy, someone who was strong, who was someone who was like comfortable in their own skin and a great mom and a happy wife and all these things. And that was when, did you realize your power then? Did it feel good?
I think it was interesting, just you would have thought the same, being in there with no social media, nothing. That was like the best thing for me, because it was just like, I had to like speak to myself, I had to chat to myself, get to know myself again, and just be like, I'm actually pretty cool, like funny. Like I'd make myself laugh and be like, nah, I'm funny, and I would just like surround myself. I had such a brilliant like group of people in there that I think we're all going through a similar kind of journey. I just loved it so much. Isn't it the best thing ever?
Oh, Jac, honestly, like I am, and you're closer to your experience than I was, because you were just like 2 years ago, really, right? Okay, so you're closer to it. You will get to where I am eventually, but at the moment, I know the stage you're at. Are you jealous when people go in?
I thought I would be, but I tell you why I'm not, because they're in the castle.
Okay, so they're not getting the exact same experience. Yeah,
in my head, I'm still the queen of the jungle. Because they're the queen leaving for the castle and there's room for two, I'll take it.
Brilliant. Absolutely. You sneaky bitch, right? You've got 3 years as the reigning queen of the jungle. Get on this, mate, right? So obviously I'm thinking, all right, I'm queen of the jungle for a year. I'm going to smash it. I'm going to make the most of it, blah, blah, blah. And who knows? There might even be a king like the year after me. So I could get 2 years as being like queen of the jungle. No, year after me, Scarlet Moffat.
Oh.
No. Dark-haired, funny Geordie bird. Vicky, you're done.
There is a weird thing though, isn't there? I don't know whether it's something we should admit or not, but I don't know if you've maybe even spoken about it because you're super honest, but there is a weird thing of feeling super relevant and then it just going away and you kind of feel like, oh, no one cares about me anymore.
110%, Jack. Like it's so, and I have spoke about it. Like me and Fern laugh about it. Like it was. I think. Did you have like a jungle bestie?
Caitlyn Jenner.
You fuck off. How do you get Caitlyn Jenner and I get Fern McCann?
She actually said to me, oh, you really remind me of my daughter, Kylie. And I was like, and then I said, and I don't think it made the show, and I was like fucking fuming. I said, is it the looks or which part of me resembles Kylie Jenner? I'd love to know. But apparently she said my personality.
Oh, so no shade to Kylie Jenner, right? But like, I feel like you're loads more fun.
I don't know. I love Kylie. I love her.
Yeah.
I reckon she's a right laugh.
You know, so honestly, like, who am I to judge? Because look at me just complaining about preconceived notions of me. Like, we only have what we see of Kylie. So yeah, I'd love to think she's a hoot. I actually feel like Chloe's my fave, but I do feel like,
love Chloe. Love her.
But yeah, so me and Fern, we always talk like for a while. I was like, I just fucking can't watch it, mate. Like straight after, obviously, I went and presented it and the after show, and then like always keep my dip my toe in with like bits on This Morning and stuff. But I said to Fern, I was like, I really struggle to watch it, mate, because I'm watching these people like have these amazing experiences and forge these incredible friendships, watching them like lose weight, like, you know what I mean? And on the lead up to Christmas, everyone else is just like, so I'm getting fatter watching all these celebs getting skinnier and have this and thinking, God, you're gonna have the year I had after, where like, God, everybody wants you and you're so relevant. And it's, you know, it's a double-edged sword, because I whinged that like, oh God, I couldn't do anything and the press like were all over us. But we're in this industry for a reason. We obviously like it to a certain extent. So mate, I totally get it. And like, it's so normal. It is really normal to feel that way. But I mean, look here, Jack, 3 years, it's going to be going into 3 years and you're still as relevant as ever.
Oh, thanks, Joel. So are you.
Oh, cheers, mate. I do try. Well, it's been absolutely pleasure talking to you in part 1. Can I have you back in part 2 to talk some Eastenders?
Absolutely, honey. Yeah, cool.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to part 2 of Vicky Pattison, The Secret 2. I'm joined by none other than still current reigning queen of the jungle, Jac Jossa. You're such a sneak. I'm so jealous of that. Oh, so mate, we can't ignore the fact that you burst onto our screens at the age of, was it 18? 17. Fuck me. So still technically a tiny little minor. Okay, playing the iconic Lauren Brannon. Now that is quite young, I think, to be like propelled from complete obscurity into one of the most recognizable, most watched, biggest British institutions. How did that feel?
When I was auditioning, I didn't think past like getting the job. Do you know what I mean? Because I didn't really think about it. And when I actually got it, I was like, what? Because I've watched EastEnders my whole life, my whole family. You know, EastEnders Christmas Day was like a huge thing. Christmas Day for us, we'd sit and watch it as a family, and so it was massive in our house. And I thought, this is like a dream come true, and it really, really was. It was the best job I've ever done, and I was so lucky. I didn't think until, to be honest, until I hit the screens. Well, a couple of weeks before, someone's kind of said to me, "Oh, Jack, just don't read the forums. just don't, make sure you don't go
fuck.
on the forums. That I was 17, I didn't know what a forum was. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't know, yeah, okay. That night,
Oh,
no, the
yeah,
self-loathing part of you kicks in, and you're like,
yeah.
oh, they've told me not to, I probably shouldn't. And then I just read, bearing in mind I hadn't even hit the screens yet, so I was just a picture. And it was like, forums, we hate the new Lauren Branning. The new Lauren Branning is fat, or Jac Jossa, or aka Jac Jossa, or like, there's loads of different forums. And I was like, oh my god, you killed me.
That's madness, absolute madness. So before they'd even, so I really assumed, and this is naive because I'm obviously coming from a reality TV background where I completely assume we're absolute cannon fodder and total fair game, because people have this perceived notion that we're talentless and don't deserve anything that we've got. So I always think, yeah, we're easy game for trolls. I assumed, and again, naively, that because you had a skill, a craft, a talent, you were slightly more respected and it wasn't as bad. But they hadn't even seen you on screen and were already fucking ready to have a go.
There was like 46,000 people had liked a Facebook group before I'd even come on the screens. 46,000 people. We hate the new Lauren Branning, because obviously I was recast. It's such a huge thing to be, when you love a character and they're recast on a show. I know as a viewer it annoys me. I think, why have I done that? I can't get used to it. It's a different face, it's a different voice, different size. I don't get it. The whole other family the same, and we're just meant to believe it. They're treating us like, because the audience then feel like, oh, the producers are like thinking we're thick. They notice, but that's not the case at all. But
no.
So I get it. And that was the main thing, because I was a recast, that there was an issue. They just wanted to hate me. And to be honest, I turned it around.
Absolutely.
First year, I did turn it around, and I won the NTA for Best Newcomer. And for me, I was like, I really settled into it from that moment, because I was like, no.
Validation, isn't it? That
I got that validation that I needed. And then I kind of tried to stop looking at the forums, because it became every day I'm looking at them to see what they thought of that episode. I'm typing in the episode number to see what they thought of it. It got crazy. And that was more about my skills. At this point, I'm thinking, did they think that was too much? Did they think that was too little? Was I good in that scene? Which is just crazy.
So in that sense, because you're not, so I agree, like, as like someone in the public eye as well, I often go on Instagram on a post and I will scroll past all the nice things, like just scrolling past the lovely things that people are saying, looking for a bad comment. And I don't, it's subconscious, like I don't actually acknowledge I'm doing it until I hit that bad comment. I'm like, there it is. There it is. That's what I was after. Brenda from Barnsley telling me I'm fake. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and it's why do we do that to ourselves? Because we fly past all those amazing, lovely things and search for that one thing that's going to hurt. It's like a self-harm.
It is a self-harm. It's a really, really strange thing. And I actually had counselling for it. It got so bad that I had counselling for it, because I'm not going to lie, I still do it now. It's like, if there's a certain thing that maybe I think in the back of my head, or I'll just look for it. Or if I'm feeling a bit down, I'll go on my DMs and just like, it's like self-harm, just looking for something. I like want something to validate how I'm feeling. But I try not to do it, and I've blocked a few sites now as well, like that Tattle I blocked on my phone, so I can't read that. It's awful, that.
I literally just found out about Tattle really recently. I had a conversation with Liv Bowen about it, and honestly, mate, that is where the darkest people in the world go. Like, it's
so
awful.
Bad. It's so bad. It's awful.
So for those of you listening to the podcast who are nice, normal, lovely people, which I'm sure the vast majority of you are, and have no idea what Tattle Life actually is, it's this fucking like blogging site. I actually feel like I don't want to give it like airtime here, but I have to explain. It's basically like a little site where people go to slag anyone off who's in the public eye, and they are allowed to say whatever they want about people if they have in some way monetized their life. That's what it says, isn't it?
It's so bad.
Awful. It's absolutely fucking awful. You have, though, like you've sort of got a really interesting way of dealing with the haters now, haven't you?
Mm.
Sorry, I've got a little article here. What is it how do you deal with it?
Sometimes I never reply now. I just block, delete, block,
Yeah.
block.
Block.
But I try not to read it anymore. I delete sites that are going to just affect me and offend me, and I block.
Yeah.
To be honest, you've got to feel sorry for them as well.
Yeah.
A little bit, don't you? It's terrible. Because everybody's allowed an opinion. Listen, there's people on Instagram that I secretly in the back of my mind, I'm like, over it. You can either mute them, unfollow them, take yourself away. I would never comment on a picture of theirs, how I felt. I would never DM them privately. I'll put it in my WhatsApp group with friends. And that's what I think they should do. But they don't have friends, and then that's their only way of releasing how they feel. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. And you're right. Like, I think when I'm being super measured in that, like, I can say, God, these people deserve our pity and blah, blah, blah. But you know, when you're fucking having a bad day, Jack, and you're just so close to it, like, it's taken me sort of 10 years to kind of be like, don't reply, just block them, just move on with your life, just protect your peace. So yeah, I do think your technique for dealing with them is the way forward. So what are your favourite memories of being in Eastenders?
Oh, I loved Eastenders so much. It was just a brilliant job. Brilliant. It was hard work, but I loved it so much.
How long were you there, Jack?
8 years.
Fucking hell. That's a long time.
Best memories were like filming big old Christmas scenes and fires, car crashes. It was just unbelievable. So lucky. Working with incredible people. I tell you what I miss the most is having like that second family.
Yeah, I bet it was.
You truly do love these people. When it was coming to an end and we were filming the good sort of, my character's sister died. I just couldn't hold it together. We barely ran the scenes because as soon as you would run them, the emotion would come out, and I would think, I can't keep reading the lines because I don't want the emotion to come out until the take, basically, because I just couldn't hold it in.
Yeah, because you knew what was coming.
Yeah. And I found it really, really difficult. The last few months was hardest, but the best as well. It was like full circle. I was so gutted that she was dying. It was just awful to film. I felt like she was actually dying. I felt like I was actually grieving because I was leaving as well.
Yeah. So almost a bit of a method actor there, like really like immersing yourself within that. Like it didn't just feel like, oh, these are me, like these are the people I work with. It almost felt like you were losing family members.
Definitely. Whenever Jake would cry in a scene, I would cry because he was so brilliant. He'd just make me fall to pieces. I'd think, oh, he was so good. He's such an incredible actor.
Ginger fella.
Yeah.
Fittest ginger fella.
No, stop. That makes me feel so unwell. Everyone
sorry, babe. Fittest ginger fella. God, like he's up there with Prince Harry before Prince Harry started to whinge all the time.
He used to come in and go, guess what? I'm Heat's weirdest crush of the year. And I'd be like, fuck, please, Jake, I can't see it. Just stop. I really felt like that dad kind of relationship where when people would say it, I'd be like, ugh. It's still even now. Can't see it.
Ruined it for life for you. You went, mate, from being like you say, 17, being a fan of EastEnders, watching it as a kid, like all the rest of it, to being in on the screen in millions of homes every night. How did you adapt? Like, that's a big jump.
It was weird.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I'll be honest, and I think everyone like you said in this industry, like at the beginning, I loved it, getting recognised, like, oh, this is amazing, like I'm so famous. Oh my God, this is so cool. But I was young and it was like, we'd get into clubs for free, and all my mates, and they'd my friends got to come on the journey with me, you know.
Yeah.
We'd get free drink, and my character was an alcoholic, so like they just pile all this drink, and I'd be like, it was just ridiculous.
The lines would be blurred. Where does Lauren start? Where does Jac end?
It really, really would be. I'd have like little old ladies coming up to me in the street. You've really got to stop that drinking. It's not right. You're too young. And I'm like, oh no.
Oh no, Doris, that's not me.
Got to go along with it. Like, oh.
Don't burst their bubble. I remember reading like years ago, remember Spider from Curry? And there was that huge I've not offended you by talking about Curry, have I?
No.
Oh God, thank God. Whew.
I watched it.
I was like, yeah. So,
everyone thinks there's that big
rivalry.
Eastenders and Corrie. It's so funny. It makes me laugh.
Okay, good. Thank God for that. So remember the big Who Raped Toya storyline? And I remember it was, it was very much like the Who Shot Phil Mitchell, and it was that, oh God, it was an iconic age of soaps. It was truly fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, and I remember I remember reading that like old women were like walking up to him in the street and clouting him with a handbag. And be like, you want to be fucking ashamed of yourself? And I was like, shit, like that's the thing. Like, obviously a huge fan of soaps, but you watch these soaps and you start to forget that there's an actor or an actress, like you see them as their character. Did people totally blur the lines with you?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And also my character was she had a lot of boyfriends. I basically kissed like every man on the square, basically.
Yeah, you did. Go on, girl.
She just snogged absolutely everyone. And I was just like, I'd ripen it, and I'm like, oh God, who am I kissing now? It was just crazy because she was like alcoholic, always drunk and stuff. I think people thought that I was like that when I was out, and actually I'm like a frigid bitch. I'll be totally honest with you, like especially 17, kind of. I was terrified of boys. I was terrified. In fact, I think I filmed like a sex kind of scene. They obviously Eastenders don't do sex scenes, but like led to before I'd even properly experienced. Yeah.
No, Jac.
Yeah. So because I was and my character was it was quite difficult sometimes. I'd be like, woo! I'd have to put a lot of thought into playing like this doesn't give a shit character, dancing on tables. I remember once I had to dance on the Vic table in little black shorts, and it was that's very not me. Like that is so far away from Jacqueline. Well, my friends are gonna be like, no, it's not. But like publicly,
call by Jacqueline.
Like away from everyone as well. Like if I'm in a safe environment, I'll let loose and stuff. But I would never do it like publicly at a table and stuff. Yeah. So I was like, I remember used to read scripts and be like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? The anxiety I would feel, everyone dreads Vic scenes anyway, because near on the whole cast are in the Vic. Yeah. And it's a big old, now I'm getting.
But they're always the best, Jac.
They're brilliant.
They're always the most iconic moments happening there. It's where people get slapped. It's where drinks get thrown. It's where things get revealed. And
it's definitely, it's so true.
You know, when everyone's in there for a party, it's going to be a blinder, don't you?
Something terrible is going to happen. Someone's going to die.
Oh, mate. Right, I've got to ask before I ask my next serious questions. If you have snogged your way through the square, who's the best kisser?
Oh, God. I can't say best kisser on the square. Can't do it. I can't. I'll tell you, my favourite partnership was Peterbilt, Lauren Brannan and Peterbilt, Ben Hardy, all day long. I know there's a new Peter now. Yeah. But just Lauren and Peter in general. I loved Ben so much. We had great chemistry. And I just loved Lauren and Peter. I thought they were like childhood sweethearts. I just loved them. So that's definitely my favourite part. But yeah, I did kiss pretty much everyone. I'm not going to lie. Do you know who I was terrified to kiss? Because you were talking about you see characters as themselves.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
do you remember Jamie Lomas, who was in Hollyoaks?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, he was in Hollyoaks, and then he came into EastEnders as like we
Oh,
were
the
in a
soap slut.
relationship. Yeah, right. And I was like so nervous when I found out it was him, because I was like, oh, who did he play? Warren James. Warren
Yeah,
James.
he was a bad
He
bastard,
was a
wasn't he?
bad boy, and I used to watch Hollyoaks, and I was like, terrified. And actually, he was just like the loveliest guy. So not like his character.
No, he's not at
And had
all.
that like, bad boy sort of. He was really lovely. So I didn't need to be scared at all. But I was like, I remember thinking, oh no. I was very anxious.
She's fallen. I don't blame you though, as well. Like, I feel like, honestly, I watch actors and actresses and stuff, and like, obviously, given my background, it's just reality. So if I'm ever kissing someone, like, I'm actually kissing someone. Do you know what I mean? And like,
you want to.
Yeah, I want it, but sometimes I'm just drunk, but most of the time, like, I actually want to. But yeah, like, I watch actors, and even in films and stuff, like, and you know, me and Erkan always have this conversation, like, we'll be watching something, and I'm like, this is the third film those two have been in together. Do you think they actually fancy each other? Do you think their wife or their husband's a bit pissed off? Like, I always think this because I've just got no experience in TV, like, with acting and with these staged kisses.
You're not wrong in a sense of, like, I think that sometimes lines are definitely blurred and crossed. Yeah, 100%. But on EastEnders, it was kind of different, just because you sit in the lunch hall with them, like, as yourselves, and it's just so not like that. It's like going to work, just like every day you go to work, you'd film your scenes, and then you'd sit and like make jokes and crack on with your life. Like, it wasn't so much, I guess in films can be quite intense, you're with them continuously, but also there's nothing sexy about snogging in front of like 16 people on a set, all the lighting blaring at you when you're about to kiss, and they go, hold on, can we just get that booger because he's been crying, we just need to wipe his nose, and you're like,
there's a bat in the cave. Yeah, that would kill my libido, if I'm honest.
Just like, it's not what I used to have to kiss Aaron Sidwell, who was like a really good friend of mine. We drive in together because we lived near each other. We drive in together, and honestly, he used to like eat tuna sandwiches on purpose just to be a dick. Like, we had that kind of relationship where it was like so platonic. We could not have fancied each other in any way, shape or form. It was just like, he'd be like, have I tuna today? I'm like, it was so gross.
Honestly, mate, though, regardless of these feelings, you never would have known, because not only did you become a huge hit with audiences and prove all of those initial naysayers wrong, you fucking smashed it with the critics as well, winning like Best Newcomer, Best Actress, even Sexiest Female, you little sword.
Once we got Michelle Keegan out of the way.
Fucking hell, that would be on my mantelpiece, mate. It would be on my mantel. She's such a babe.
I was actually buzzing about that. I'm not going to lie. I was buzzing. I was like, oh my goodness. I loved it.
But like, winning all these things, like, must have been, we've mentioned, like, such a huge validation, and it felt really nice. So it must have made like making the decision to leave EastEnders really difficult.
It's tough because I had like 3 or 4 moments of, I think I like, you know, when you have conversations with your agents and stuff like that, there was like a few moments of, I think I at some point, like, when do you leave? When is the right time? I still like, I love EastEnders so much. So it would never have been the right time. It just would never have been the right time. It was always going to crush me. And it did. I felt like I was losing something. Something was just gone. I felt I was like really I mourned so much, and I just wasn't happy. Also, you have to remember, EastEnders was my income. Yeah. And after EastEnders, I knew nothing of this world. I hadn't done one paid post. I didn't know they existed. I didn't know how it all worked. I used Instagram purely just to post a picture, and I didn't have stories. I didn't know. It was such a different life, different world.
It was a bubble, like, in the same way, like, you know, this is the only point of reference I've got, but you know, like footballers when they're in like the academy from when they're about 15 and they rise up and then they don't quite, they feel they're in that bubble and then they don't quite make it. Like I know this is stupid, but I always kind of think, oh, I wonder how they adapt. And it's the same for you, I suppose.
It was like adapting. It was like, what do I do? And I was really bloody lucky that I had that Instagram platform to adapt to, you know, like, because some people don't. Some people they don't have Instagram, or they've got like a smaller following and stuff. And I was just really lucky that I was a girl in the industry. And I don't know, there was just a space for it and it just organically happened. But, you know, it's harder. It's really, really hard. And being in the acting world and then kind of being like forced into the reality, it's not easy.
No.
It's not easy.
It's a big adjustment, isn't it? So listening to your talk, I completely know the answer to this question, but you've been an actress, you've been a reality TV star on one of like the biggest reality shows in the country, if not the biggest. Like, you also dabbled in singing. You can be called an influencer, Jac. Where does your heart lie? Where do you want to go in the future?
My heart lies with acting, definitely. Just because that's where I know, that's like where I belong. That's where I'm the most confident. I think that's why it took me a while to like find my feet in confidence in myself, because I'm just
you were Lauren Brannan for so long.
I could walk into being Lauren Brannan tomorrow and fucking smash the shit out of it and have so much confidence in what I was doing and feel so confident in that. But myself, I wasn't. So it's taken a lot to get there. But I think part of becoming somebody else is that's what I love. I love pretending I'm somebody else for the day and taking myself out of it.
Bit of an escape. That's so interesting, Jac. Like, if you think starting something like that at 17, it's your formative years. Like, I learned so much about myself. That was when I went to uni. That was when I established my personality. That was when I worked out who I wanted to be. Like, you find the friends you want and everything. And at that time when you're meant to be learning about yourself, developing your character, working out what grown up you want to be, you're spending fucking every day developing this other person, being this other person. That must have been pretty confusing for you at that age.
It was, and I spent more time on Lauren than I did on me. Yeah, I was so focused on what brings her to drink, what draws her to the drink, what is she, like. I get so into it, and all I would think about is, I wonder what the next script is going to say, because I loved it so much. And then so when that was gone, I was like, oh shit, who am I?
Part of you was
me,
gone.
like, oh, it's all on me now. And also, I think it was like therapeutic for me. If I've got something personal going on, like my dad went to prison and stuff, all while I was on EastEnders, and I was lucky enough that I'd be able to come onto set and cry my eyes out and scream and shout and like physically go off on someone. If she was drunk, I could go, yeah, and my whole body would feel it. And then I'd go home and I'd feel all right. But when that was taken and that was gone, I didn't have that release, and it was all in here then. When I was going through something, it just continued to stay in. Had I have still had that release of getting it out, I think it would have been better for my head.
For your mental health. So you had to learn, like, because that was how, since a young age, you've been able to express your emotions. Whatever was happening in your private life, you were able to channel and use in your art, but also like as a way to kind of navigate your own personal emotions. You then had to learn to express yourself just as Jac Jossa.
Yeah.
That's hard. That's hard. Fucking hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
So hard, mate. Like, it's so different, but I had to, when I was on Geordie's show, like, everyone thought angry, aggressive, horrible, like so bitchy, all these things. And actually, like, I was just learning how to express myself in a space that didn't feel human, in a space that didn't feel normal.
And it so wasn't human what you went through. It's really not, like, it's not normal. Like, I always say, I think myself really lucky because I was kind of like 17, 18, 19, like Instagram stories and all that weren't a thing.
Yeah.
None of that was a thing now, to how like all these young reality stars, all the Love Islanders that are just popping, they can't do anything They can't do anything, put a foot wrong without someone storing it or putting it everywhere. Everyone has their moments and they make mistakes. You learn, you grow, but this industry doesn't allow you to make mistakes and grow from them. They hold you in them mistakes. They make you live in them for years and years and years. They'll continuously say, they'll say about you, look how far you've come, but they'll still bring up something from 10 years ago that will be at the bottom of the page, and you will never ever, they won't ever let that go, no matter what.
You're
You
so
have to
right.
let it go.
Yeah, no, honestly, like, I think I always say I've got fucking so many grazed knees, and God knows how I'm still going more lives than a cat in this industry. And I think it's kind of ended up having to be part of my like my whole my shtick, you know, like I'm human, I'm normal, I make mistakes, but like I'm very lucky in that sense. I look at certain other people and the mistakes they've made, and how, don't get us wrong, I'm still being held accountable for the things I've done. Like, even if it's just in my mind, I still criticize, I still beat myself up over things I did 10 years ago. But I almost think women are held to a more higher accountability than men. Like, I absolutely believe, like, if you look at certain instances, like, women are, everything is taken away from them, vilified in the press. Like, it's as if they can't make a mistake. Yet men, they are more often than not allowed to move on, whether they've cheated, whether they've hurt people, whether they've, you know, whatever. I honestly believe they are allowed to still maintain a sense of dignity, whereas women get everything taken away from them.
They are. And even in the you know, we're talking about like interviews and getting the stick. Like, it's often the women, no matter who made the mistake in the relationship, the woman will get questioned about it, attacked. How do you feel? How does this make you feel? Blah blah. Why are you asking me?
I've done fuck all wrong.
I've done fuck all. Why are you asking me? You've got the wrong person in the chair, babe. You know, like, it's always the woman. Like, what? Oh no, poor me. It's just ridiculous.
No, I agree.
And we feel like we've moved forward so much, and we have, obviously, but at the same time, it's like, if you're in a normal person in a normal job, you can make your mistakes that maybe 2, 3, 10 people will know about, and you are accepted, and you are allowed to forgive yourself, and you're allowed to move on from that, because everybody else has. And when you are in the public eye, you aren't allowed to move on. They try so hard so that you don't move on from your feelings. They bring up something that you're trying yourself to let go of.
Yeah.
And they continuously bring it back up. How are you meant to?
Do you know what it is? It's a form of control. And like, because if you elevate, if you move on as a woman, if you grow, if you improve, if you become better, stronger, smarter than you were yesterday, you're harder to control. If they remind you that you were the girl who had sex on TV, or that you were the girl that was seen as a victim, or that you were the girl, whatever, if they remind you of that, they keep you small. Then you are easier for them to control. And that is completely what I believe, whether it's men, whether it's in the press. And I'm not saying all press, I'm not saying all men, but across the board, that is what I believe.
And I think that's why I find it worrying. You've been in the industry how long?
10 years, 11, yeah.
10 years.
10, 11, yeah.
Same. 10, 11 years. We started out at the same time. We are used to that kind of criticism, and we've grown along with the times and with the press and how it works. So we get used to it. But I do worry about the Love Islanders who just into this world. They think this is like amazing, and it's like, it is amazing, but you really need to, you need good people around you.
Absolutely. It is scary.
It's gonna end in tears if you don't. And like we were saying about feeling relevant, you need to make sure you feel relevant for the right reasons, which I think I have done now. And whereas if they come out of Love Island and feel relevant, it's really dangerous when you don't anymore.
Oh, 110%. And I think when you start that feeling like you're slipping, that feeling like of irrelevance, is when you start to make bad decisions. And you start to sacrifice respect for attention. And
you have to
it's
have
dangerous
purpose in life, don't you? Like your purpose. Like also what you do for money and what you enjoy sometimes are two different things. And sometimes you have to, but if you do what makes you money, and you don't feel that light in the tank of
Passion,
your passion projects, even if it makes you no money whatsoever, you're in dangerous territory, because you're saying yes to the wrong things and no to the wrong things as well.
No, I completely agree. Like, there needs to be, and I don't know what ITV's aftercare program is. I'm sure it's great, but like, there needs to be almost like a little school for these little Love Islanders.
I had that at Eastenders. When I was on Eastenders, you went for classes to deal with the press, to deal with, you've got counselling sessions while I was on there to deal with how your emotions, and you could talk about absolutely anything. And also, like, they introduce you to accountants and things like that.
Yes. Oh my God, BBC are smashing it. That's so
smashing
great.
it, and they did that for you. And that's why I look at these people, and I just, like, the mother in me is like, please look after yourselves. Put
your money into property, you won't regret it.
I'm like, please. Like, I feel like the mum when I'm on a night out and I'm at these events, and I'm like, I caught someone miming lyrics to a song.
They
were filming it to put on their Instagram, and it had the N-word in. And they said it in the thing, and I was like, delete that now! Delete that out! You fool! You fool! Like, you've just ended your career before you've even started. Like, fuck. Hey.
But like, Jack, why were you the one who had to do that? Where's the agents? Where's their friends? Where's the common sense? Like, oh God,
making the money. That's where the agents are. Making the dollar.
Fuck me, mate. It is terrifying. And I completely echo your sentiments. I am so pleased in a way. Like, don't get me wrong, we exploded onto the scenes and Twitter came very close after. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a bitter, nasty medium. I think it's a terrible platform. So I've always had like social media run alongside my career. But the scrutiny now, the Insta stories, the TikToks, the development, I do feel sorry for everyone, whether that's people in the public eye, whether that's young lasses, whether it's like anybody. I really do think the age that we're living in now, where everyone can see everything, is scary.
Yeah, it is. Like, even bullying, you can get now from your bedroom, can't you? So even that is just terrifying.
Fucking terrifying.
Jack, at least you could get home. You could go home and have your moment,
have a sense of safety, a little bit of an escape. It has been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and I could talk to you all day, but I'm aware that if I keep going up, you're probably going to be time for you to pick the kids up from school. Here at Vicky Pattison, The Secret too, we love to ask our gorgeous guests for a secret, something that our listeners can take away, so they don't just feel like I've been chewing that ear off for an hour. I'm inspired by you, Jack. Like, I think it's so interesting, especially because you come from such a different background to me, but to hear how you felt like you were lost in a character, to feel like how you were lost in press perception of you, but you changed all of that. You took control, and it was brave. It was amazing. And there'll be so many women out there who are looking to take control of their lives. So I want to know what your secret is to scripting your own story.
Okay, scripting my own story. I've never had it put like that, and I suppose it's weird, isn't it? I suppose I have, yeah. I would say my mantra in life is like, feel the fear and do it anyway. So even though things may scare you, and a lot of things in my life have scared me, and I've pushed myself to do it. And I think you grow when you're in fear. Like, that is a huge thing. I've always thought that. It's harder, it's easier said than done, definitely. A lot of people, when they're scared, pull back and think, right, that's something that I'm not going to do because that scares me. But as soon as you do it, you realize it's actually not that scary. Like, I was terrified to go in the jungle, and it turned out to be one of the best things I've ever done in my life, and I learned so much in that fear, sitting there and being the main character of your life, because nobody, not even your children, you are number one. Because you can't look after your kids if number one isn't safe and okay up here. You can't be the best mum in the world, the best friend, the best wife, the best work colleague until you've fixed and saved yourself. And also passion projects. Like, you have to do what you love. Find your passion. Find what ignites that little flame, the light in your eyes. Find it, continue to do it, even if you make not one penny, even if it's just something you do in your bathroom and nobody sees. Just do it, because that's what makes you realize who you are. Finding what you like to do, enjoy what you like to do. That's the most empowering thing, because nobody can take that away from you. You can continue to do that for the rest of your life.
Jac, I know, like you said before, like you lost the sense of yourself in Lauren. Do you know what I mean? And I know Lauren was a bad bitch. She was class, and we all miss her in New Zealand. But I just wanted to say, like, talking to you today, like, I'm so pleased you found Jac, because you are a brilliant mum, an inspiration on Instagram. I love your body positivity stuff. You're eloquent. You're funny. I think every girl would want you as their best friend. So I'm so pleased we found Jacqueline.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so lovely.
You're so welcome, mate. Thank you so much for talking to it today.
Thank you. This is my first ever podcast.
Pew, pew, pew. Honestly, Vicky Pattison, the podcast Virgin Slayer. I'm taking cherries. Yeah.